I'm out here today with Linda. We're out at the Rogerson Clematis. And Linda, this time of year is a great time to be getting clematis and getting them in the ground.
Yeah, fall is really planting season for these guys. So as soon as we've had some rain and your soil is really workable, if it's comfortable for you to be outside planting, it's comfortable for your clematis to be planted. And I want to give folks some tips about what to look for when they're shopping for a new clematis. And this is one that we're going to have for sale. This is Claire de Lune. And we've done some really intensive pinching on this. So you've got 2 stems coming up, which 2 is better than 1.
Right.
When you plant this, you're going to take off these lower leaves and bury those nodes that are right at the ground.
Okay.
And this one is also going to bloom.
Right, you can already see the bud on the top.
Yeah, the buds look terrific. You're going to want to enjoy those buds in the pot before you plant.
Oh, really? Okay.
If you try to plant it when the buds are on there, they may collapse because being transplanted is stressful. You're always going to damage some of the feeder roots when you slide it out of the pot. And speaking of roots, the other thing that you want to be able to do is to see roots coming out the drainage holes. If you pick up a clematis plant and it's got one spindly stem and it doesn't have roots coming out the drainage hole, it's not ready to go in the ground. And you want to buy clematis that are ready to go in the ground. But that said, you're going to stress out trying to plant a plant that's about to bloom. And it's going to stress the plant because no matter how careful you are, you're damaging feeder roots when you slide it out of the pot. So it's really better to enjoy it in bloom in the pot and then plant it when it's done blooming. And you can just deadhead it, just cut it back, that far and put it in the ground. But you want to avoid transplant shock, both for you and for the clematis.
And you have a sale going on today for people that are shopping for
clematis.
Right,
from 10 to 2. And we have a few specials. I'm only going to tell you about one of them. The one we have the most of is HF Young, which is a beautiful light blue, large flowered hybrid. It flowers very well in the spring. It flowers from the ground up, but it's really too big to go into a container. And then it has excellent rebloom throughout the rest of the summer and even into the fall. And so we have other specials, but I don't want to mention those because our members got to shop last night. But that's a benefit of membership, that whenever we have a big sales event, they get to come in and do a happy hour shopping the day before.
Right. And speaking on some of the maintenance on clematis, some people had some heat damage from this summer. So what do we need to be looking for? The
common heat damage you see, and there's a little bit here on this particular plant, is what we call a heat coma, and it affects the apical, the apex, the top bud on a stem. A healthy clematis should have an active bud with a flower bud forming or new leaves forming. And we're talking about the final bud at the very end of the stem. So in this case, it's been deadheaded because this just bloomed. Right. But we have this, and I'm going to cut it off, which is what you should do when you see it. You have this little stunted bud. And in some cases, it starts out looking like this. It covered itself with little hairs to reflect the heat away, and then it just sat there. You pinch that off whenever you see it.
And then it'll rejuvenate.
And it'll rejuvenate. That's a good opportunity also if you want to cut off more stem, because it's gotten a little bit, the plant's gotten a little bit out of control. You don't have to just go back one node. This one you would because it's a short stem. Right. But if you have taller stems that end with the heat coma, and that's a term that Brewster Rogerson came up with. I'm sure there's a botanical technical term somewhere that I haven't found yet. But if you want to take off more stem, that's a great opportunity to do that. You're the decider. In this case, you've got the opposable thumbs and the clippers. You decide how much you want to take off.
So it's a great time of year to come out. Make sure you come visit Linda down here today.
Yep.
And pick up a clematis for your yard. and learn some tips and tricks about what you need to be doing for some maintenance for the ones that you have in your yard or from this heat in this summer. So, Linda, it's always a pleasure to be out here.
Thank you, Ryan.
And, make sure you come down today and visit Linda and pick up a clematis for your yard. So thanks for having us.
You're welcome.